At exactly 8 a.m., the glass doors of Blackstone Global opened, and hundreds of employees hurried inside. Everyone knew today was important because CEO Olivia Blackstone had returned from a month-long business trip overseas. Olivia was only 30 years old but had built a reputation as one of the toughest CEOs in the country. She believed discipline came before kindness, and excellence came before emotions. Employees respected her intelligence, but they feared her temper. That same morning, a man in a simple blue shirt entered the building carrying a small backpack. His shoes were worn, and his employee badge read, "Name, Daniel Carter. Department, Warehouse Assistant." No one looked at him twice. A security guard barely glanced at his badge before waving him through. "Warehouse is in the back," the guard said without even making eye contact. Daniel smiled politely. "Thank you." As he walked away, two office workers laughed. Poor guy. Another low-level employee trying to survive. Little did they know, Daniel Carter wasn't an ordinary warehouse worker. He was the only grandson of the company's billionaire founder, William Carter. After retiring from public life, William had made one surprising decision. He wanted his grandson to earn leadership instead of inheriting it. So Daniel accepted the lowest position in the company without revealing his identity. Only the founder and the family lawyer knew the truth. Everyone else, including the CEO, believed Daniel was just another employee. On the executive floor, Olivia entered the boardroom. "Good morning," the directors greeted. She nodded. "Let's begin." The quarterly reports looked impressive. Sales were rising, profits were growing, but one report caught Olivia's attention. Employee satisfaction had dropped sharply. She frowned. "The numbers don't concern me." One director hesitated. "But resignations are increasing. We'll hire replacements." The meeting ended. Outside, Daniel quietly unloaded heavy boxes in the warehouse. While others complained about the workload, he worked silently, helping anyone who needed assistance. An older worker accidentally dropped several cartons. Everyone ignored him. Daniel immediately rushed over. "Don't worry, sir. I'll help." The man smiled gratefully. "You're new, aren't you?" "Yes. You'll lose that kindness soon." Daniel shook his head. "I hope not." Later that afternoon, Daniel noticed something unusual. One of the delivery trucks had been loaded incorrectly. If it left the warehouse, millions of dollars worth of products would be sent to the wrong customer. Without wasting time, Daniel stopped the truck. The supervisor became furious. "Who gave you permission?" Daniel calmly replied, "No one. You just delayed an important shipment. It was going to the wrong address." The supervisor laughed. "What would you know?" Minutes later, the logistics manager checked the paperwork. His face turned pale. Daniel was right. The shipment had indeed been labeled incorrectly. A mistake that could have cost the company millions had been prevented by the newest warehouse assistant. News of the incident quickly reached the executive floor. Olivia looked at Daniel's employee file. "No experience in warehouse operations," she whispered. "Interesting." The next morning, Daniel was unexpectedly called to the CEO's office. He knocked gently. "Come in." Olivia looked up from her desk. "So, you're Daniel." "Yes, ma'am. I heard you stopped an expensive shipment. It was the right thing to do. You ignored your supervisor. I protected the company." Olivia leaned back. "You're confident." "I'm honest." She studied him carefully. Most employees trembled inside her office. Daniel remained calm. She couldn't understand why. "Tell me," she asked. "If you dislike the way this company is managed, why stay?" Daniel smiled slightly. "Because good companies deserve people willing to fix them." Those words stayed with Olivia long after he left her office. For the first time in years, someone had spoken to her without fear. Without trying to impress her. Without asking for anything. She had no idea. The quiet warehouse assistant she had just questioned wasn't simply another employee. He was the true heir to the company she believed she controlled. And very soon, a secret would change both of their lives forever. The moment Daniel walked out of the CEO's office, Olivia Blackstone couldn't stop thinking about him. There was something unusual about the quiet warehouse assistant. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't trying to impress her. And he certainly wasn't afraid of her. That had never happened before. Meanwhile, Daniel returned to the warehouse and continued working as if nothing had happened. His coworkers gathered around him. "What happened? Did the CEO fire you?" Daniel smiled. "No. Then why did she call you? She just asked a few questions. Nobody believed it was that simple. The next morning, Blackstone Global prepared for one of its biggest investor presentations of the year. Executives rushed through the hallways carrying laptops and documents. Everything had to be perfect. Just 30 minutes before the presentation, disaster struck. The company's entire presentation system crashed. Screens went black. Important financial files disappeared. Panic spread across the executive floor. We've lost everything. The investors are already here. Olivia remained calm on the outside, but inside she knew this could destroy months of hard work. As technicians struggled to fix the problem, Daniel happened to be delivering supplies nearby. He noticed the chaos. "What's wrong?" he asked. "The presentation server has failed," one employee replied. Daniel quietly walked toward the computer. "May I take a look?" The technician laughed. "You're a warehouse assistant." Daniel didn't argue. He simply examined the system. Within minutes, he discovered that someone had accidentally disconnected the backup network during maintenance. He restored the connection. The screens lit up. Every file returned. The conference room erupted in applause. The technicians stared at him in disbelief. "How did you know that?" Daniel smiled. "I studied information systems before." News reached Olivia immediately. She looked at the security footage herself. Once again, Daniel had saved the company. After the successful meeting, Olivia called him back to her office. "You've surprised me twice in 2 days. I was just doing my job." She narrowed her eyes. A warehouse assistant who understands logistics, computer systems, and business operations. Daniel simply replied, "People can surprise you." For the first time, Olivia became curious about his past. She ordered human resources to investigate him. Hours later, the HR manager entered her office. "Ma'am, his background is strange." "What do you mean?" "His references are excellent. No criminal history. Multiple business certifications. And yet, he applied for the lowest paying position." Olivia frowned. "It doesn't make sense." That evening, far from the company, 80-year-old William Carter met with the family lawyer. "So," William asked, "how is Daniel doing? He has already saved the company twice." And Olivia, she still believes he's just another employee. William smiled proudly. "My grandson is proving exactly what I hoped." The following week, Olivia announced an inspection of every department. When she reached the warehouse, everyone stood nervously in line. Except Daniel. He continued helping an injured coworker lift heavy boxes. Olivia watched silently. "You ignored the inspection." Daniel looked up. "My coworker needed help. The inspection was important. So was he." The warehouse became silent. No one had ever spoken to the CEO like that. Instead of becoming angry, Olivia surprised everyone. She asked, "What's your name again?" "Daniel Carter." She nodded slowly. "I'll remember it." That night, Olivia sat alone in her office. She opened Daniel's employee file once more. Something still didn't feel right. A man with his education, his confidence, his leadership, would never choose warehouse work without a reason. She whispered, "Who are you, Daniel?" At that exact moment, her phone rang. It was the chairman's secretary. "Ma'am, Mr. William Carter is coming tomorrow morning." Olivia immediately stood. "The founder?" "Yes. He requested that every executive attend." She smiled confidently. It has been years since he visited. What she didn't know, William Carter wasn't coming to inspect the company. He was coming to reveal a truth that would change everything. And when Olivia discovered that the quiet warehouse assistant she had questioned, criticized, and underestimated was actually the rightful heir to Blackstone Global, her world would never be the same.